Hello guys, in this video I want to show you how to implement To-Do app on React hooks. In this tutorial we will create simple To-Do app and add some actions to this app for add, edit and delete To-Do items with help of React hooks. So let's get down to business. Well, let's start with creating the new folder. I give it this folder name To-Do. And to open this folder, I add this folder to Visual Studio Code. And we will open this folder in Integrated Terminal. We will start by installing the project with Create React App CRI. I print the command yarn create React app and dot. I stop the record because we need wait a little bit time. Now you're all set with React. I already prepared our files, delete unnecessary files, we don't need app CSS and index CSS, so I delete it. And let's start our application using command npm start. Well, our application is already work. And the first thing I need to do to add some styles to our application. I prepare some drafts and I just copy this link and paste it. For styles, I use link in public index HTML here. I don't use any CSS files. We will use standard Bootstrap 4 classes. And the second thing we will do is make some sample data and a table to display it for the view. In our work, we need two folders. Let's create them. In source folder, create table and forms folder. In table folder, create file task table. We will make the skeleton for a table. As I already said, I have an example of code. I just copy and paste it. There is nothing difficult in this table, just bootstrap classes and a little bit styles for a pleasant view. Okay. And we have the draft for app.js. Just copy and paste it. And I add import task table from table and task table. That's it. Okay, as you can see, we already have some view. So let's add some dummy data and import useState hook from React. And let's start to add functionality to our checkbox button. So we add use state. Oh, wait a minute. We need to add the use state in here. Oh, yes, that's all right. Use state here. And what do we do next is add some dummy data. Const tasks set tasks use state and we have free attribute id. Let it be first name, for example, watch movie, and we have component completed for our checkbox. Let it be false. Okay, that's good. Just copy this strings id 2 drink Coca-Cola. Let it be false too, and id 3. Eat chocolate. Okay, that's all right. And we need to add props to task table. Tasks is equal to tasks. Well, that's okay. And our next step. Let's add function handle change. We change attribute completed from false to true and back to front. Okay. Const handle change equal task id const new task is equal tasks dot map I'm sorry, task, and here we have the if task ID is equal to task ID, then task completed is equal not task completed. Return task. And okay, and we need to add set tasks and new task. Well, we have the error. Oh, I'm sorry. Tasks. Yes, that's all right. And we need to add props for handle change. Handle change is equal handle change. Yes, that's all right. But we don't. But we don't have task table. Oh, okay. Props. Deleted. And we need to our data to see our data. We need to add some functionality. Well, okay. We need to add some functionality to task table. Let's see. We need to add here before the checkbox props tasks dot length is bigger than 0, and what's next? We need to props dot tasks dot map task and here we need to delete it and add key to our tr. Okay, key is equal to task id. Okay, style, and here I need to add default checked is equal to task. This is our checkbox. And the next functionality is we need to add on-click action is equal to here function props handle change task id. Let me see what we need to add next. Okay, we need to add task completed true. And here, if task completed is equal to true, we add del tag. We add del tag here. Yes, the next, and here task name. Okay, that's all right. And in the end, we need to add task name. Let me see. Is everything is all right? Okay, task table is equal to true. Question mark. Del task name. Oh, Yes, yes, yes. There is a mistake here. Oh, that's all right. And what we do next is complete our actions here. We add in before the T body. We add in here the end of our we add this tag tr tr and td go spawn is equal to 3. And what for is when we don't have any tasks, we just show the message no tasks. That's all right. That's good. Let's check if everything's all right here. Yes, great. Um, mhm. I can't find a mistake here. We need to add some scope. Task completed is equal to true, question mark. I already found our mistake in, and I need to add this here, and we don't have any mistake. And we already have view, but our checkbox isn't work. Well, let me see. Oh, completed is equal to true, and that's all right. For now, as you can see, our checkbox is ready to use. Now, when the basic part of application is set up, let's get the adding functionality working. So let's go to the next step. We need to add a new task, and we are going to set up the form to add a new task. And the first step that we need to do is create the function that will add the new task to the state. So let's do it. And we are not using a real database, which would probably have an auto incrementing ID. So I'm going to use npm OID package for generating unique IDs of the new task manually. So let's add the OID npm install OID. And we need to wait a little bit time. I stop the video. When the process is end, I will start the video. I will continue our lesson. So we already install the OID package, and we need to import this package. Let's do it. Import version 4 as OID version 4 from OID that's okay. So, and what we need to do now is create our function for add task. Let's create function const add task is equal task, and here and here we task ID. Our task ID is equal to ID version 4 So we have the set tasks function from use state. And because of this, we add use state here. So let's use set tasks to update the task state. Set tasks. Oh, I'm sorry. The spread operator tasks ensures us that all the previous tasks remain in the array. And here task. Okay, that's good. And what do we do next is create the file, the new file, add task form. .js. That's good. And what I need to do is copy and paste. I have draft number 3. Here. Okay, that's all right. We need to delete use state. We need it in future, but now we don't need it. So let's add task form import add task form from forms Add task form. That's good. Add task form. Okay, and we need to add a task form tag here. A task form. Add task is equal to add task. Oh, I'm sorry. Add task. That's we put these props at task, so that's good. And what do we do next? So now we have to right now the form is empty and the submit button doesn't do anything. So this button, we need to make initial state. So I'm going to create an initial state with those empty values and set the task state to the empty values. Let's do it. Const initial form state is equal to id null name empty string completed is empty string 2. So having an initial state as a variable initial form state is useful because uh, we can go back to initial empty value uh, anytime. So now we need to create a function uh, which update the state when some event passed through to any event in the DOM. So you will need the parameter of the function. So let's do it. Const and we need set use state hook here. And go back, const task set task is equal use state, and we use initial form state here. And what do we do next is const handle input handle input change is equal to event. Oh, I'm sorry, event const name value is equal to event dot current target set. Oh, I'm sorry, event dot current target set task, and we have here spread operator task comma and name value. So now we extract the values from the state object and reference our function in the onChange event, and we need to create onChange event. So uh, we need to add value here, task name, and onChange is equal to our handle input change. So the last thing we need to create is submitting the form. So as we pass the function down with the props, we are going to use props to make access to the function. So I'm going to create on submit function. Let's do it. So handle input change, name value, const so let's do the function handle submit is equal to event. I'm sorry, event, and the next is event and dot prevent default default and if task name return props add task set task, And we need to put here initial form state. That's it. So I need to add on submit here is equal our handle submit. Well, I need to make sure that everything is okay. Um, so let's try to add something. Oh, something goes wrong. Task is not iterable. So I need to find the error. So we have the mistake here. I find the mistake is in this. We need not task, just tasks. That's all right. And let's do it. Yes, it's great. Everything is okay. So cool. So the next stage of our application is delete the task. We need to delete the task, which is the easiest thing to take care of. So below add task in application.js, let's create delete task. So print const delete task is equal to id and set tasks set tasks task filter task task id non equal the double equal id. Okay. So let's check it out. Is there everything's all right or not? Mm-hmm. Is equal tasks. Oh, the mistake is here and here. Okay, that's all right. And we need to pass function this function uh, through the props to task table. Let's do it. Task table. Uh, delete task. Delete task is equal to delete task. So that's great. So now all we need is to make sure that in the file add task form, the button, oh, I'm sorry, um, in the file task table button delete uh, is calling this function. So on click is equal props and delete task task ID. Is there any everything is okay? Props delete task ID. Oh, I'm sorry. Uh, great. So let's check it out. Cross our fingers, and yes, that's okay. We can add new task and delete it. Let's add the new task and delete it. So that's great. So the next part and the final part of our application is ability to update existing tasks. Uh, this is the same as add a task, but we need to identify which task we need to edit. So we will use effect hook. You can, uh, if you need, you can find information about effect hook on the official website reactjs.org. So the way we are need to use this is when the edit button is pushed, uh, the add task will become the edit task, and we need another button cancel, which cancel it this action, this edit action, and the edit action become add action again. So let's begin in application in app.js. We the first thing we need is to make state for edit mode. So application.js and what do I need to do here is print const editing, comma, set editing is equal to use state, oh sorry, state false. And we need initial form state 2 here. So const initial form state is equal to id null name and complete it. Well, so we want to know the way to see and update who the current task being edited is. So we will apply that empty task to a current task state. So we need to print const current task set current task is equal to use state and initial form state. When edit button is pushed, it should be turned on and edit mode and set the current task in the field. So we need to add the edit row function. I put the edit row function in the end. Const edit row is equal to task set editing to true, set current task, and here is this and this. So id is task id, name is task name, completed is task completed. And now what we do next is make the props for edit row in the task table. So we need to add maybe here edit row and edit row. So we need to go to task table JS and we already have button edit, and what we need to do is add some functionality. On click is equal to brackets, so here props edit row task. Well, that's all right. Now we got the all things for switch on the edit mode. So let's create the actual function that will call when the edit form is submitted. So we need two parameters in this function. This is the updated task object and his ID. And we will need the ternary operator to map this editing the tasks which was already added. So in application.js, in app.js, we need to add some functionality. So const update task is equal to id comma updated task updated task set editing to false. In this case, set tasks task tasks dot map and task task id or updated task. So that's good. That's all right. Well, the next step, we just need to um, create the edit task form JS. So we need to create a new file, edit task form.js. Well, unfortunately, I don't have a draft for this, so let's do the things like this and help with Emmet. So in this case, we need use state, hook here, and use effect. Edit task form is equal to props. Well, let's create the form action. We don't need action. We need on submit. And what's next? Label. I don't need HTML4. So label class name is equal to task input. Input type text. It's right. So in form on submit class name form inline. The next step, so label type text here. The next attribute is class name is equal to form control mb2 mr_m2. So style is style is equal to I'm sorry, is equal to that's all right. Margin of 5 pixels. Name is equal to name. Value and on change. So just here, and what's next? The next step is button. So button class name is equal to button outline primary mb2 and so that's okay. Style is equal to margin 5 pixels to cancel. It is cancel button. Oh, so that's all right, but we need another on click attribute is equal to. So we prepared our draft, and the next step, I do it like that doesn't matter. So we need to add our functions. So const task comma set task is equal to use state and in here props current task. The next is const and handle input change is equal to event. I'm sorry, event. Here const name comma value is equal to event dot target set task event target. The next step is set task. Here spread operator task name and value. So that's okay, that's great. And what do we do next is fill in our actions here. So for submit, we use for submit, we use so I need a little bit. So for handle input change, we take this and put it in input on change handle input change in value task name. So that's all right. And for our button, we use onClick arrow function props set editing false. So that's great. And the final step on submit and handle submit. Submit, and that's not correct. So let's create. Well, we prepare. We have prepared our edit task form, but we don't have this function, and so we need to add it. But first of all, I need to add edit task form in application.js. So here, or maybe just use this and edit task form here, forms, edit task form. That's all right. And here handle submit is not defined, so we put this function later, a little bit later. Well, that's all right. And what do we do next? We need to create a toggle. We need a ternary operator to check the editing state is true or not. So if the state is true, we show the edit form, and if the state is false, show the add form. So let's do it. So I have to do item, add task form, editing, and what do we do here? Let's make div and copy and paste this in here, and that edit task form. So in edit task form, what do we need to add? What props do we need to add? We need to add editing, and is equal to editing, of course. Set editing, the same thing. And current task is equal to current task, and update task. Function update task is equal to update task. Oh, sorry. Great. It's great. So we use editing. Here is the question mark. Here is the, and next is here, brackets. And here we need to add our this. So div, I'm sorry, div okay, that's great. And add our functionality here. So everything is okay. The task form is not exported from what? Okay, edit task form. Let it bit here. This. Something went wrong. So edit task form. Edit task form. Oh, it's wrong. Oh, that doesn't matter. Maybe we can do it like this. This. Oh, okay. And you just handle submit here. So well, everything is all right. Just need to continue here and add the handle submit here. So we need to add handle submit. Let's do it. Well, const handle submit. Well, is equal to event event dot prevent default. Oh, I'm sorry, prevent default. If not task name, return props update task. Oh, sorry, to mistake task return props update task task id comma task. And we need to add button here. Just button. The button is update task. So this class name is equal to button outline primary. Oh, uh, button outline primary MB2. Style is equal to margin 5 pixels. The task button. So that's all right. Use effect I use later. So let's try it out. Edit. Update. Yes, that's all right. And yeah, that's good. But why we need the effect hook? So let's try it. Yes. When well, what the aim of using effect hook? If you play around with the form, as I already done it for you, you will see that when we edit some task, for example this with ID 1, we can't change the item. So I push the button edit and nothing changed. We need to add some functionality to correct this action. So we need to use effect hook for this. So let's do it. Use effect. Arrow function set task props current task. Oh well, yes, that's good. Comma, and here props. So we need to check this out. Edit. Oh, that's all right. So we are we have done the great work, and we successfully end our application. Thank you for your attention, guys. Subscribe to my channel, and you will see more useful videos. Goodbye.